There's a popular quote that goes, "The mountains are calling and I must go." But have you ever truly experienced the call of the mountains? I've never seen that number come up on my caller ID, but there is something about the danger, the unknown, the perspective that you might find if you head into the mountains. For us, on this trip, the mountains didn't call us. We just showed up for dinner. Kate and I rarely have time away from the kids. On this trip, we had 2 nights to spend on the trail by ourselves, so we chose to visit Copper Basin, which is near Ketchum, Idaho, and inside the Pioneer Mountain Range. It was hot, so with peaks between 10,000 and 11,000 feet, we could escape the heat, and it's only 3 hours from Boise, so off we went. The town of Ketchum is best known for its celebrity sightings and world-class ski resort, but for us it was a gas stop before hitting roads to a place where the mountains don't care what your last film was or who your agent is. So Kate and I have been to Ketchum many times, been at the Sun Valley Resort, we ski here, we come up here for work. It's just a really nice place to come and get away for a weekend, but we've never been past the Sun Valley Lodge. This is the first time we've driven past the Sun Valley Lodge. We're headed towards the Pioneer Mountains, and we don't know what to expect. We hit dirt, aired down, and took Trail Creek Road, which is a ledge road that scales the side of the ridge and serves as a red carpet of sorts to the mountains that live on the other side. Kate and I had some goals for this trip. 1, eat well. With just 2 people to cook for, we wanted to try and make some fancy meals. 2, exercise. Kate and I both love to exercise, and Copper Basin is supposed to have some killer hikes. 3, time. Kate and I tend to be pretty type A, but sometimes we just need to slow down and stop the whirlwind. Copper Basin is lined with many canyons, so we just picked one and hoped we could find a spot to stay for the night. We were reminded that this is bear country, but mostly black bears, not a lot of grizzlies out this way, I think. What started as a typical drone session filled with incredible footage turned to panic when for the first time I lost my drone. I need to take a drink. Here's why. We've been looking for the drone. I lost the signal. I think these trees are so thick. Lost the signal. It was like out of battery power. I was trying to land it on the road. I got really close and I lost the signal. And I don't know what happened to it. I've been walking through a stream. I've been climbing a mountain, trying to find the last GPS location, but it lost the GPS signal. So I thought it was gone. I said, you know what? Maybe there's enough juice that it returned to the home spot. I just launched it out the window as we were driving, and we were driving back, and here it is, right on the road, exactly where we launched it. Thank God I found this thing. Holy cow.
No, the drink.
So that was stressful for me. Was it stressful for you?
Yes.
With our drone safe, we headed deeper into the canyon. What we found was incredible. After a few miles, we came upon a valley with a creek running through it. It didn't take long for us to find a spot perched on the side of the valley to set up camp. It's amazing how efficient Kate and I are when it's just the 2 of us. We have a way of working together that doesn't require any words. We just see what needs doing and jump in. After 18 years of marriage, we can anticipate each other's moves a bit, and setting up camp becomes a beautiful dance of activity. The timing of each task has evolved over our adventures together, so we're doing things in a certain order, so what needs to get done can get done first without us getting in each other's way. I mentioned earlier that Kate and I are type A personalities, which means we like to charge forward, work hard, and play hard. This is why the activity of setting up camp serves as almost a decompression ceremony that lets us transition from our on-grid lives to something less driven by email notifications and more driven by our natural senses. We focus on what needs to get done, and by the end of the work, we're ready to relax and let go of the worries that just don't matter when you're off-grid. If you've watched our videos, you know I love chopping wood. There's something so satisfying in splitting a piece of wood with an axe. But I had a new toy I wanted to try out on this trip. So this is my Father's Day present.
Watch your toes.
I'm happy to report I still have all my toes, and hey, off-grid or no, I still like my toys. So Kate, what are we having for dinner tonight?
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're having steak with a corn black bean salsa over the top of it.
Ooh. Well, that sounds good. We never had that before.
No, this is new. Trying something new. The kids aren't here. We're going crazy.
This recipe is easy to make if you don't mind chopping a few vegetables at camp. The steaks are pretty straightforward. A filet wrapped in bacon with a bit of Larry salt and garlic for added flavor. To make the salsa, start by dicing up 2 fresh tomatoes and slicing 1/4 of a fresh onion. We have a set of knives that go in our camp kitchen drawer all the time, along with some cutting mats to make things a little easier. We love our Outback Adventure tailgate table. It's easy to clean, sturdy, and gives us a lot of room to cook on. The salsa mix is comprised of 1 teaspoon of olive oil, 1/4 cup lime juice, and 2 teaspoons of minced cilantro with salt and pepper to taste. Don't forget to keep an eye on the steaks. We carry a battery-powered meat thermometer with us to keep things easy. Now the recipe calls for 1 cup of corn, but our domestic fridge kept things a little too cool, so we thawed it out on the grill. Extra flavor, right? Once the steaks are done, put the salsa on top, and the end result is, well, see for yourself.
Yes, I prepared this meal in the woods. Yeah, it's good. We're just having like our after dinner drink by the fire, and I said, Will, there's a deer. And he said, wait, there's 2. And so we jumped up and we tried to capture it, but you guys, there's a mama and her fawn. It's so sweet. I miss my fawns.
It's so nice that instead of watching TV tonight, we're here sitting by the fire, looking out at this beautiful meadow, watching a doe and her fawn. Sure beats Netflix. Remember when I said we needed time? Well, that night was a good start on slowing everything down a bit. Nice to be here with you. So we had a awesome night last night, even though we got in a lot later than we thought because I almost lost the drone, but we found it. And our plan this morning was to like get up early and go do this hike into this mountain lake, and then we were just reluctant to get out of the tent this morning.
Yeah.
And we got up and we just decided not to be in a hurry.
Yeah.
So, we still gonna hike?
I don't know. Let's see what we see.
Okay, so we're gonna go find this hike, see what it is, and if we're so inclined, I guess we'll hike it. If not, then we'll just explore this Copper Basin area in the Pioneer Mountains and hopefully see some really great mountains.
Choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure today. Yes. Okay. We decided to beeline for a hike up to Bella's Lake, which would take us up to about 9,400 feet in elevation. As we headed deeper into the forest, the landscape changed from deeply wooded to a strange mix between forest, sagebrush, and rock. One of the most incredible aspects of Copper Basin is that there are mountains literally in every direction, giving you a sense that you are surrounded. Even the name of the river running through it is called the Big Lost River. The roads are flat, wide, and well maintained as it serves as an intermountain link between Ketchum and Mackay, Idaho. Our best Bad Hikers impression. Shout out to Bad Hikers channel, love your stuff. We're gonna go on a hike. It's not really our thing, but we're gonna do it and see what we find. Sending a message to our friends and family with our Garmin InReach Mini so they can see a pin drop. If anything were to happen, you know where to start looking. So if you know anything about driving a Jeep off-road and overlanding, it's that we love water crossings. So we have just come to our first hiking water crossing. Pretty rad. Ah! We definitely have to climb up that hill.
Yeah, I see.
Oh, great. We hiked up to the mountain lake. It's just, I don't know, maybe 9,400 feet or so. And whenever you get to a mountain lake, you have to ask yourself one really important question. Should you go swimming? And the answer, even today, is always yes. And cold? Yeah, worth it? Definitely. Okay, we made it. We made it. 1,700 feet up, 3 miles in, 2 miles back, 1,700 feet down, and we're ready to go take a break. It was really fun though. By go take a break, I meant drive to find a camping spot. Remember when I said we wanted exercise? Well, this hike definitely checked the box. We put on a good face for the camera, but we were both totally gassed. Nonetheless, there was some more exploring to do. Kate and I have been all over Idaho, all over the US, and all over the world, and I gotta tell you, this place holds its own in terms of beauty, activities, and access. We chased roads up and down mountainsides looking for a spot to camp, but unlike other trips where Kate and I get really picky about where we stay, we literally couldn't find any established camping spots. Well, we did find a few, but they were pretty terrible. On the positive side, we got to see a lot of Copper Basin. On the negative side, we were pretty tired and ready to stop.
we've been driving for like over 2 hours trying to find a campsite. We just haven't found it. And what's weird is that there's these roads, but there's no campsites on them. So I think just people ATV on these roads and no one camps on them. There's no established fire rings. And we really prefer to stay at an established campsite and not sort of disturb nature and make our own. So we're turning it around yet again, and we're just gonna go find a place to sleep. And that's it. We're done.
We kept chasing roads as the sun began to set. We did finally find a place to call home for the night. It was down a very lightly used road at an established campsite that had been long forgotten, just the kind we like. We were tucked back in the trees, but had views of the mountains around us, as well as Mount Bora in the distance, which is Idaho's tallest mountain at 12,667 feet. We quickly got settled in, got a fire going, and Kate whipped up another dinner that was, I don't know, is perfect an okay word to use here? After a long day of searching for campsites, we found this one, got an incredible view of the Pioneer Mountains. And what did you whip up for dinner?
So this is salmon with avocado bruschetta on the top.
Oh, how is it?
So good.
This is salmon. Here's tomatoes and onions and avocado and looks like cilantro maybe? Basil. All mixed in. Okay, let's try this. Okay, that's so good. The avocado goes so good with the salmon and the tomatoes, and it's just, this is really good.
I'm glad you like it.
Great food? Check. Exercise? Check. Time? Well, time is a funny thing, isn't it? There's never enough of it, even when there's too much. So we were grabbing every second we could, just so we could let go. The last morning of a trip is always bittersweet for me. I often find myself yearning for one more day on the trail. That said, Kate and I have a wonderful life that includes things at home, in the city, and things online. Most importantly, on this trip, we both found ourselves really wanting to see our kids. The feeling of being torn between two great options is a really good problem to have, I suppose. Kate and I packed up camp and took a few extra minutes to shower before hopping in the Jeep for the long drive home. Our world is changing rapidly. Our home state is growing, and more people are crowding into the outdoors than ever before. So the fact that Kate and I can still experience a place like Copper Basin, that while not completely empty, still had miles of space for everyone, is pretty special. These mountains are not like other mountains. These are our mountains. This is our home. We are proud to live in a place that has so much beautiful public land. We have these mountains on speed dial. We can show up unannounced anytime we choose, and while we appreciate that it's not as undiscovered as it used to be, it just means we have to try a little harder to find our own nooks and crannies, which is a challenge we love to accept. So no, the mountains didn't call us, and we didn't have to go. We get to go, and that is a gift for all of us. And it's up to all of us to keep it that way.